Okay, so here's Ronnie. They are placing another piece. Ronnie, get a ladder, then you can climb up and push this higher. And you've already cut it, eh? Before you shaped it a little bit, I can see.
We laid and we cut to the shape. Then
okay, perfect. So it'll be easier now.
Now we just dressing.
Okay, perfect. And it's getting stuck on the barbed wire there. So we're doing a layer underneath. We're doing one layer above with overlaps. And yeah. And then we're going to do chicken wire on the top and chicken wire underneath. That'll be good. Just for that extra strength. So that's what I mean, it will be easier to get the mesh before you build the dome. Just leave some pieces there, enough pieces, and we prep them first on the outside on top, and then once they're cut and ready in good shape, then we put them underneath, so that the guys don't have to cut. As you can see, that corner there has already been cut and shaped. There, those two pieces, 1, 2, has been cut and shaped. So there's two guys working. Ronnie is pushing it up, and then you're gonna do the pliers, eh? Just to do that final. And pull up, eh? Pull up so it's, yeah, that's good. That's awesome. Looking good. So here's a layer underneath. Lots of tie wires, eh? Yeah. And there, Mzi, where there's three layers separated. There and at the bottom. Can you see under? Yeah, they're quite low. They need to be up. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure you reach the ends, so the mesh goes all the way to the ends. Like, yeah. There is good.
Okay.
Here is a bit of a gap, so we need to fill that gap with mesh.
Okay. That's fine.
Also, like here, we need to.
I will move this smaller.
Okay. So right to the edge, very important. Okay. So we just have strength all the way around.
Okay.
And another key message here is that we need to tie a lot of wires, so there is no movement. There's none of this movement, so there's going to be lots of wires. It all needs to be sandwiched together. So there's going to be mesh on top, mesh underneath, chicken wire on top, chicken wire underneath, and everything is going to be sandwiched properly. No movement at all. With the wires, we first connect a strong wire to the rebar, and then additional wires, second layer, we're going to connect the chicken wire. We're not going to be connecting the chicken wire and the mesh and 2 layers of mesh with one. I mean, when we do that at the end, it's fine, but original strength is that we have lots of wires connecting this mesh to the rebar. That's going to be the first layer of wires. Second layer of wires will help that, but it's not the main one that's going to connect this mesh to the rebar. That's just for the chicken wire. But when we're connecting, it will also sandwich everything together. Nothing stopping you from tying a thing off for the chicken wire where the rebar is, you know. So just to reiterate, we're going to be opening up that rebar, and that rebar, or less, just so we can get some pieces of mesh down in there. And then we're going to stick it up. Okay. And maybe even plywood. We need to make sure that we can get some plywood in.
I think plywood, yeah.
Because that's going to be...
Chicken wire we can...
That's easy, chicken wire, yeah.
That's easy, we can go with the raw.
So I would put maybe 2 pallets at the bottom so we don't wet the plywood. No, not pallets. Maybe buckets, even just those little black things, these ones.
Okay.
We can put maybe 4 so we can have the plywood not going in. Okay. So that's basically how it's going to be done. And then we've got our manhole, which is big enough for a man to get in. And we're going to create a nice little wooden floor for it eventually. So that's what I'm talking about, the fold. So here you see how it's warping, how it's going in a warp. Can you see?
Yes.
It's like, because it's a square going over a dome.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So if you, I mean, it's not bad here. Here we can pull it, but if it becomes bad, like especially when we had that tight dome on the other water storage, it was like really warping. That's when you can cut here, and then it overlaps. But here it's not bad. Here you can just pull it. Not a problem. It seems like this metal, because the dome is not so sharp, it's like a gentle dome. This mesh seems to be working quite well on it, much easier than there. But it's definitely creating warps. So here's two things. So if it's too much of a warp, then you can just cut it and fold it, you know, do like that, like you do with paper. And but here we're probably going to just stick lots of wires and just sandwich it. So everything needs to be tight to the rebar. Tight, tight, tight. No bubbles, no height inclinations, none of this. Okay, all going to be pushed down. And where we've got an opening between the two rebars, then we need to put a patch over there.
Yes.
Overlapping by at least like that piece. Or, yeah, like that. So where we've got any openings between the rebar, we're going to be connecting. And we don't put rebar square over square. Yes. We always put rebar so we can get smaller squares. So like literally like that. Yes. In the middle of this square, in the middle of that square. Can you see that? This makes a plus. Yes. So then this becomes a nice sandwich whenever you have an opening between the two rebars. Okay. Yeah, we've got opening, we overlap. Half meter, with tie wires, so it's all joined together as one. So we're going to show you how we're been constructing this roof using small pieces. Well, they're not so small, and we've been just basically layering them on. The plan is to have mesh underneath, mesh above, and 2 layers in total will be fine. And then of course we've got rebar sandwiched at the bottom. And the basic plan is that we're going to have, there's 2 ways of doing this. The one is you have plywood underneath, and you have lots of support beams as shown on the picture here. And then you pour the concrete by not walking on the roof. But because our roof is so small, we will still create one plank. We'll purchase a plank of wood that we can walk across or utilize what we've got. But we can literally reach quite a way here, and from that plank we can do the whole center section. So the reason for that is that we don't want to be walking on the dome whilst we're plastering, because whilst the dome is setting, the concrete needs to set really hard with all the metal reinforcement in it. And if we're going to be walking, we're going to be creating cracks, and that's the last thing we want, because we're going to be putting a whole floor on top of this, and this is going to be just super, super strong. So just to reiterate the plan, you've seen how we constructed the rebar. Now we're putting a piece of mesh on top. Just one mistake we made before putting rebar completely. We should have put mesh inside, because now we have a really small opening, and then it's going to be tricky for us to get the mesh in. I mean, we'll try and roll it into a sausage, but I don't think it's going to be possible. We might want to actually open up this section here whilst we can, and rather insert a few pieces in where just the 2 rebars, because we've got a nice opening here. If we could open 3 rebars, we can insert a whole piece in, right in. So that's the mistake for you. That's the reason you're doing this course. So just to repeat that, the mesh, a few pieces of mesh, enough for this whole dome roof, should have been placed underneath and stored inside before weaving the whole top section, because it's very hard to get the mesh inside there, and we do want a layer on the inside and a layer on the outside, sandwiching with the rebar for that extra strength, because there's going to be a floor on top. Otherwise, let's show how it's done. So there is a piece, we've trimmed the corners. Ronnie already trimmed the corners just so it can fit, and yeah, basically we patch it up. We patch it up in little pieces. If we do see that the corners are overlapped because it's a dome, we can cut a little slit because we're putting a whole giant rectangle over a dome. Hey Ronnie, because we're putting a giant rectangle over a dome, if we feel like it's not folding nicely because it's a dome and that's square and it's creating like a fold, we can cut over and then we fold over like we did on the other dome. Okay, that's not a problem at all. But this piece seems to be, if you tie it, it seems to be stretching nicely, hey?
Yes.
So just push it down, let's just see how it looks. Yeah, it's looking good. So we'll show you once it's all tied together. So I just want to explain to you why we're going to use the plywood versus what we did on the other tank. We had so that wooden float didn't allowed for the concrete mix not to fall down through. And obviously saved a lot of mix. And it was easier to plaster. So one was guys holding and that we're plastering on top. The reason that we're not going to do that because this is a roof. That's just a little dome cap, like that, the capsule cap. This is a whole roof, like that roof. So the reason that we use plywood is because we want to put all the plywood underneath. We're going to put the poles and we're going to pour a slab at least 5 centimeters high that will sandwich the bottom chicken wire, the rebar mesh, the rebar mesh, and another chicken wire, all one time. So it's going to be one pour, meaning there's not going to be little cracks. It's not going to be a little bit of concrete, little bit of concrete, little bit of concrete. It's going to be one big pour. We'll obviously still plaster from the inside and we'll plaster from the outside and we'll thicken it up afterwards. But as a first round, first round, it's going to be a fat 5 centimeter pour. And this is about 16 square meters, which means it's going to be just short of probably a ton, 1.2 tons of weight. So that's why we're going to have plywood and we're going to have lots of poles supporting, snug sandwiched in. Whatever poles you can find. We've got some bamboo growing on the river here, you know, nice and strong, but lots of them, so together they'll be very strong. So this is the first step of the plywood. I'm just thinking aloud, thinking pizza. It's easy to dress a pizza on a circle on the dome because it's, so we've got some pizza segments. So we took a plywood, we cut it in half diagonally. See, just go that way. Okay, so as you can see, one corner is sticking out. Should have a pencil, but just a rough cut. See, let's get that cut made quickly. And then, so I used, like I was standing on from top and I saw how the angle, the circumference of the dome is running, the bag, and I just roughly drew with a line that's a little bit on the inside, just roughly, so it can fit inside because that corner is sticking out. Because obviously we took the diagonally, we cut from this corner all the way to this corner, so that's our middle line, and hence this corner is sticking out too much. Okay, so as you can see, I'm also just checking, because we've cut that corner, can you see how much smaller that triangle become?
Yes.
In comparison to this triangle? So that's I'm also observing. If we don't cut the corner and rather, you know, like look, if we just put a whole board here, do you see what I mean? Instead of cutting the triangles, which seem to be the best way to start, but looking at the second triangle that hasn't been cut, seems to be doing much better in terms of the thing. Now, to go on to cut 20 boards into triangles is just not an option because it's already skew, which is fine for us, but do you understand? I would get 2 more triangles and maybe place a triangle here and maybe place another triangle there. And then I would look at what shapes are left and more or less cut those, more or less. I repeat, we cut 2 more triangles without cutting the corners off, like we did now, this one. And we'll put one somehow here and we'll put one maybe from there to there. We see what shapes are left, and we see what we can do with what we have in terms of, or maybe cut 2 more bigger pieces from another board. And then it's finished. Because if we do that, can you see, if we do that, and we go the first triangle, yes, and we go like a perfect pizza slice like I originally thought, we'll need 16 triangles, because it's 12 meters all around. We'll need 10 triangles. If we go this way, we might need only 6 triangles or funny shapes. So I repeat, we go into that board, we cut 2 more triangles, we place one in the we place them in the best way to cover, yeah, and then we patch up with other pieces. Maybe that plywood will give us something nice, yeah, and then maybe we need to cut 1 more board. Okay, but it doesn't need to be perfect. Even if there's a little gap, we can make a plan by putting a small piece. We'll push a small piece once the poles are up. We'll push a small piece in to cover the gaps. Not a problem. Okay. Let's go for it. Doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to hold dagga. Dagga is South African word for mix. Yeah, it's looking very nice. Sure. Quite a lot of tie wires. The 2 layers are sandwiched, sticking out quite far down. Okay. Quite a lot, yeah. So just look for that finer details now. Like the mesh looks good, but maybe like an odd stick sticking out, okay, especially around the edge. Okay. Otherwise, no, it's pretty good, hey? It's very strong. I can jump on it now. Okay, so. And just make sure that we cut these off where the entrance is, so we don't cut ourselves when we go up and down.
Yeah, we have cut. We were planning that if we put the chicken wire, then we roll with the fabric.
No, this is sticking out. Okay. That's sticking out, and that's sticking out.
Or the down one.
Yeah. Otherwise, the rest is pretty good. So as you can see, the dome structure is completed. So the next step, we've got the plywood which we put on the inside. We first had it made on the outside, so it fits nicely. And now we're going to get a whole bunch of poles, and we're going to connect this plywood up with the poles. And yeah, then we're going to pour the slab one time. Because the dome is not so big, we don't have to walk on it at all. So that means that, well, whenever you pour a dome, you don't walk on it because it needs to stabilize. But in our case, we're going to put a wooden beam across, which we can walk and get all the way around here. So while standing on the beam, without putting any pressure on the dome, and then from the edges, we'll be able to work the rest of the areas. Even if we have to put a little bit of a board and stick out a bit. So, yeah, that we're almost ready for pouring. The next step would be a chicken wire layer on top and plywood. Chicken wire also provides tensile strength because there's 2 types of mesh and they provide different strength. We've got the rebar, we've got the rebar mesh, and we've got the chicken wire, or in America you get this lath, this diamond lath. So, I'll double check on that, I'll keep you posted. Okay, so just to recap, I'd rather overdo it than underdo it. Chicken wire is going to take us quick. Let's put it. Also, when we put the ply, the chicken wire basically going to be touching the ply. So the concrete is going to be lacquer there. And another thought is when we plaster from underneath, chicken wire is going to give us that extra grip for the plaster to just because plywood, when you remove it, it's pretty smooth. Especially the other brown boards is also very smooth. And that chicken wire layer, which is going to be right at the bottom, is going to give us a nice grip for any additional plaster underneath, which is going to give us more strength and a little bit of an overkill, but you know what? Rather safe than sorry. I'd hate to fall in with my couch into this hole with 40,000 liters of water. It just won't be funny. Alright, so this is the third day of the dome. We've done the mesh and the chicken wire and finally doing some final wires. Two guys, one guy at the bottom pushing and just... Gee, are your wires prepped? Or are you cutting a new one every time?
Yeah.
Gee, I think you need to have wires prepped.
Okay.
Does Ronnie need to be there?
Yeah, he's helping me
We are just
push
about,
it.
we want to tie here, then we start on both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Maybe 1, 3.
So there's two layers of chicken wire, one underneath. We're just sandwiching them. While sandwiching the rebar, we're doing all the layers now simultaneously. The two chicken wires together. And there's our boards ready to be put up. There's some underground water that entered. And the berries from the berry tree, mulberry tree. I don't think they're mulberries, but they're very tasty. They fell down here. So that causing a bit of a blackness. But yeah, we need to pump that out. Here's all the bamboo poles that are going to be supporting. We cut them. Already I suggested to Ronnie to cut them 4 fingers longer so we can put them at an angle and sandwich them in. So you don't cut them too like that pole. Like that pole, it's at an angle. That's perfect. That's what we want. So yeah, then we're ready for the plaster, for the pour. Here's more poles. We'll just use what we could find in the area. These are from our river. Nice and strong, load-bearing bamboo. We've got one board up. Yeah, so Ronnie, it seems like on this corner it could do another pole, hey?
Okay.
Maybe when we put the second board, or we overlap them, you know what I mean? You can put that pole, but you can try one now. It seems like, and then also it seems like here in the middle, Ronnie.
Yes.
It's quite a big gap. From here to there, it's like straight. It needs to curve.
Okay.
It needs to go like here's curving, but it needs to curve.
Okay.
Z, let me just shoot inside.
Because what we were thinking is to dress first, then someone will be directing.
Yeah.
from-
So we don't want it so wonky. We want it to follow the shape of the dome.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So put one pole in the middle, and put.
It's a long pattern.
Okay, so rather call me. You can do the boards and just call me at the ends. Okay.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah. You know what to do. Just put the boards like with few poles, and then you carry on sticking poles.
Okay.
So they flow with the dome nicely.
Okay.
We want. So when we pour concrete, we don't have like these straight lines.
Okay, it's fine.
We've got curves. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because
Alright.
right now it's looking at a bit. It's good at places, but it's like there it's too straight, and there
We'll
it's too
need
straight.
To put poles to push upwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also, Ronnie, if you push where there is no rebar or where there is no mesh, like
Yeah.
where chicken wire is,
Yes.
it pushes higher. So you need to try and maybe one guy can be above. He can guide you where to push it. So you push onto this where this bar is, because these are the bottom layer.
Yes.
Chicken wire is just don't worry about chicken wire, but you want to be pushing where these crosses are of the bottom strong mesh.
Okay, it's fine.
Then you understand, because
Yeah.
like here, you see,
Yeah.
it's gone way too. Although it's looking nice, you know what? I wouldn't fuss. Just make sure there's no too many straight, big, sagging parts. Okay.
Okay.
Call me when you're done all the boards. Thanks.
Okay, it's fine.
That's looking good. Lots of patches. How's it going, guys?
Yes. Coming out now.
It's quite dark. We're gonna check inside. Yeah, it's looking good. What can we see here? Ronnie, and here. Here's a big gap here.
Sorry, where?
I can't. 1 meter, Ronnie?
Yes.
1 meter from my finger this way.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
we just need to push there.
I can do that again. I just want to see. Okay, release. Okay, cool. So you're gonna do the poles.
Yeah, we are addressing on the small.
So tomorrow we can pour the slab.
Yes.
But we just need to get a beam that can go across.
Okay.
Where?
I think across if possible.
What about if we put a ladder? If we put a ladder with a board. All right. So we are here inside the drum. It's looking good. Ronnie, definitely there needs to be a pole every. Like there's a big gap. Can you see there's a big gap there?
Yeah.
So in the middle there needs to be a pole.
Okay.
So I don't know how you're gonna mark. Okay, we need to have probably another pole here.
There are two there, which
Okay. We need to have another pole here as a big gap.
Yeah.
We need to have a pole 70 centimeters in each direction.
Okay.
And that pole, which is at too much of an angle, is too much of an angle, because if you put pressure, it will slide.
Okay.
So I'd rather make it shorter, you know, the one that's at an angle. I'd rather make it shorter and jam it, you know,
Okay.
like these angles are good, you know.
Okay.
Because when you put too much pressure, it will just pop out and then the whole thing will come down.
Yes.
Obviously, okay.
Yeah.
Also, where there is a lot of sunlight, you need to try and patch up the edges.
Okay.
Like there needs to patch up an edge.
Okay.
Here, there's going to be. You see, that's a problem. There needs to be the poles shouldn't be falling down. They should be quite stiff and tight. Rather make them shorter, like this. This is good. I must be able to shake it.
Okay.
I must be able to shake it and not have the pole come down. It's not a flimsy thing. It's tight.
Okay.
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 So where there is big gaps, the mix is gonna fall down. So make sure that you, and also before we plaster, we need to get the outlet pipe in. The outlet which is gonna go there. It's very important. Very important. We need to have the pipe going in. Okay.
Okay.
So rather you like wedge it in. You must test each pole. You see, this is just not good enough. Okay, you must be able to shake each pole, and they mustn't fall down. So I'm gonna make you're gonna get the edges fixed up. You're gonna get all the poles fixed up. You're gonna make sure there is a pole. There can't be a gap. You see, between that and that gap, look there, between that pole and that pole, there is a gap bigger than a meter.
Yes.
Can't happen.
Yeah.
70 centimeters in all direction, I need to see a pole. So you've got a lot more poles sticking out. Use them all. I want to see a lot of poles.
Okay.
And everywhere.
Okay.
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 I see the plywood actually does much better than this other boards. Look, we'll just have to try and see. And you see there is the board is sticking down.
Yeah.
It's almost better to have that pole maybe in the middle of it, so it pushes that side and because right now it's on the corner. Can you see?
Yes.
Of the plywood.
Yes.
It's better to move the pole closer to the middle so both sides are balanced.
Okay.
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 Also, like here.
Yeah, I'll put another pole.
Let's look at it, how it looks like from the bottom. Yeah, see, there needs to be quite a few more poles. Fix it up, make sure all the poles are stiff.
Okay.
This is good. Up. Like, you almost like jam them in.
Okay.
And things have to be overlapping.
Yeah.
So just... Okay, so yeah. Things need to overlap. Okay, I just want to comment, looking very good. Quite a lot of poles. I'm very happy. Okay. And we also put these squares. We had those squares from the previous dome. We put these squares, which are now giving much more support, and we wedged the poles quite sturdy. Okay. Ronnie, some of the poles don't have the squares. Like this pole doesn't have the squares. I think we should just let's do the squares.
Okay.
I think it's coming on nicely.
Okay.
With the squares, and yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's looking very good. I'm actually very happy. And also make sure that the pole is in the middle of the square, more or less. Like you see that square.
Yes.
The corner is hanging off. I don't want to fall down.
No, I'll come and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come and move to.
But otherwise it's looking good. Yeah, also that pole.
Okay.
It's not in the middle of the square.
Okay.
So let's just but otherwise it's like 97%. I'm happy with this.
Okay. Yeah, I'll come and fix it.
Otherwise, yeah, it's looking good here. I see the bamboos are starting to split. I hope they can still take the weight.
They can.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is starting to split. Alright, well, and that pole at the corner there, under the board was the logo.
Yes.
It's also too much of an angle, too sharp. Just make sure it doesn't fall out when we put pressure.
Okay, it's fine.
But even this one is okay. You see this one at an angle, but it's hard. So just check that one for shaking.
Okay.
Check them all for shaking.
Okay.
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 So tough.
Okay.
Okay, it's looking good, Ronnie.
Okay.
And make sure that every single one has a board.
Okay.
Most of them do. There's just this one, and it's already broken through the. It's already broken through this masonite board, which is a bad board to use. The best stuff is this plywood.
Okay.
This is the stuff, much stronger.
Yeah, sure.
This is wonky shit. This stuff doesn't. It's really good.
Okay.
So we did a check on the inside. It's looking good. We're just gonna do the outside test. The outside test is a heavy stomper, and I'm just gonna check for pressure. You know, what I'm looking here for is these dropping down, and I'm not gonna do the whole thing. I'm just gonna do a spot check just to feel, because we're gonna be back off. The person who's talking, you generally have a camera on them.
Okay.
Okay, can you see me?
Yes, I can.
So what we're testing for here is that it's not sagging down when I push down. Because when we're going to be applying a lot of concrete, it's going to be heavy. So I'm just checking that, you know, okay, here, Rodney. Here, where the sleeve is, but that's where we're doing the pole. That's where I noticed we're missing a pole.
Okay.
There is movement here.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I want a pole there with a board.
Okay, it's
where
fine.
the sleeve is.
Okay.
Okay, otherwise I'm happy. I think overall you're gonna put a couple of poles here with the boards.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe even you can, yeah, put a couple of boards here. They don't have to be so big.
Okay.
But just to support this edge. And I think we're ready. Oh, sorry, one more thing. We need to create an edge here. Okay. So with short plank, this plank's like this wide. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 5, 6. So we're just gonna put them up to make sure that the mix is not gonna fall down. So they're gonna keep edges nice. because there we have the edge of the bag, and here we need otherwise it's gonna just run down, because the mix is gonna be watery. It's a, you know, not too watery, but it's gonna be watery. It's a wet mix, wettish. So we need these just 6-7 centimeters to create an edge to stop the mix from falling in, and then we're 100%. That's just a final piece that I just thought about it. So, and we're ready for the pour. It's I'm comfortable. It's calculated risk to put about 1,000 plus kilograms, probably between 1,000 and 1,400 kilograms, but spread over evenly, obviously. We're gonna go about this. We're gonna go as thick as we need to go to cover the metal. Not perfect. We're just gonna do a first rough coat, and as we put the mix with spades, we're gonna the trick here is to use a trowel and to push it in.
Okay.
Push we smear, we compress. When we compress, we take all the air out.
Yeah.
Any gaps that there are, you know, because obviously all these pieces are gonna make air gaps underneath themselves.
Yeah, sure.
You know, as I'm putting here, there's gonna be a gap here. So the trick is to make sure that we can smear and push down.
To cover every space.
Yeah, push down so it can work itself in. It won't be too hard because it's a wet mix.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna just go double check from my Flying Concrete Master the mix. We're gonna make it relatively strong, so more cement, but it'll be a standard ferro cement mix. Ferro, metal, cement, ferro cement is cement with metal. It's very strong. And when you're talking a double curvature dome, because dome is a double curvature, vault is a single curvature, dome is a double curvature. When you're talking double curvature dome with as much steel as we've got and a good strong mix of cement, you're talking a very, very strong structure. Show them that.
We can force a big body, a strong one. Those ones will rest on top of the board.
Yeah, you can, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Because if you force a big one, then we can't get in, and it just create me the edge like I asked. It's fine.
Okay.
And the edge must be touching these bars. Can't be close, otherwise we're gonna make the hole even smaller.
Okay.
So like all of this needs to be pushed right in. Do you understand? Even this right in. Can't make the hole smaller than it is. Otherwise nobody's gonna get into it.
Okay.
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 So right there, you can use some wire, like a bracket of wire connecting it through, or you can drill two holes through the board, maybe a centimeter away from the edge, two holes, and then you bracket it here.
Okay.
With the wire, and you connect it here. So, and it's more or less standing like up 90 degrees, you know, more or less. Doesn't have to be too perfect, but more or less.
Okay.
We're going right to the ground level, and we can see that the dome is sticking out.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, right at the ground level. Here, we can't go lower than that. That's the ground level.
Yeah.
So we need to take our scaffolding ladder and tie as many bricks as we need to, so we can hover 2, 3, 4, 5 centimeters above that.
Okay.
So on the edge, we're gonna put bricks there for
Yes.
the ladder and bricks there for the ladder.
Yes.
So this whole ladder is more or less level
And on the center we balance it again.
with bricks against that aluminium pole.
Okay.
And then we have a ladder that's not touching the dome that we can walk up upon.
Yes.
Okay? If you don't want it to move, you could put 2 metal pegs. You know, you can put 2 metal pegs.
We tie it here.
It's recording. Yeah, so we're gonna have a ladder like this. We're gonna have some bricks here, some bricks there to miss the whole dome.
Yes.
And then we're gonna put some wooden planks like those things.
Yes.
Okay? On it, so I can now walk on the ladder above this dome,
Yes.
not touching the dome.
Yes.
Because when I'm on the ladder, I can spread the mix and smear from here.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So this board can't be too wide, otherwise you can't get in. It's got to be a ladder, and you know, boards that can fit inside the ladder, like those squares.
Yeah.
Like you take this and you cut it just so it can fit inside the aluminium ladder. We're bypassing a scaffold. If you guys got an opportunity, you get a piece of wood this thick, that thick wood, 6 meters long, you get them, or 5 meters long, about 7 centimeters thick, then you put across, it'll do the same job. But that's a pricey piece of wood, so we're using our ladder, and you'll see what we're talking about. And then you're going to put planks of wood and you put it inside the ladder so you can walk inside the ladder without falling into the hole. So it'll be like a strong, I can easily walk up and down without falling or what. Do you understand? So you could put 2 pegs here.
What, sorry?
You could put 2 pegs here.
Yes.
And you can tie that ladder down and you do the same thing there.
Okay.
So it's not a, it's proper. Okay.
Okay, it's fine.
So we can just do it. So here's our little scaffold, and I'll just gonna estimate the height where we need to cut the. So I'm suggesting to put a wooden plank underneath, as wide as the ladder, so it sits on the inside, a little rectangle about this height long. So, and the way it's going to be cut is, where the aluminium pole is going to be cut is, see, we don't want it to go too high. Look there, Ronnie, show there. It's lifting up. So we want to keep it on the bricks, keep it on that, and just have it right here. Ronnie, come close up. Close up. Okay. Let's go something like that. Okay. That's the right height. So then the wood is going to sit on top of the aluminium.
Okay.
And then it's going to give support, and it's not touching the dome. We don't want it to touch the dome.
Okay.
And here's the little bracket to keep the mix that we made. This is the inlet. So here inlet comes in from overflow of the big tank. Yeah, we dig a little trench, we took it a little bit down, just a slight angle, and at that angle we broke this in. If you plan it before, you don't have to break in, but you can break in. And then that will be our inlet of water, and this will be our outlet of water, which will obviously have to be lower. There it is, it's lower. Okay. That's our outlet, and then that will obviously we'll have to take it through to probably the pool. The pool. Ronnie, I need you to cut it straight, eh?
Yeah.
Not at an angle, you need to go straight.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a problem. You need to put
No, we need to put some more bricks there.
No, not bricks. You need to run 2 pegs, and you need to pull this ladder so it's pushing down.
Okay.
This corner.
Okay.
Okay. But this is working.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, this. So it's just a little bit too wobbly. So you must picture a guy walking here with a bucket and plastering. Okay. So you know, probably gonna sit here. You know, so it needs a plank of wood maybe that fits on the inside of the ladder, so you can walk easy. I think we need to take that wood out.
Okay.
Yeah. It's too. Why is it so skew? And then you must be able to plaster here. That's the idea, without it touching. So that's great. Okay. So I think we need to have this aluminium pole in the middle. That's why it's wobbly. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move the whole thing. Okay, so we need to push that leg. No, that's good. Good. We need to push that leg also down. Put a peg. So we have the ladder balancing.
Okay.
But this is good. It's just this the problem.
I know, we will come there.
Okay.
Yeah, those bricks are not holding nicely.
No, it's this ladder. It needs to be pulled down.
Okay.
Maybe just one rope and you put a peg here at an angle and you fasten it that way.
Okay.
That's
fine.
alright.
Okay.
Sharp.
Okay.
I just want to check the mix. Ronnie, it's on the too dry side. It needs to be able to be poured. It's a bit too dry.
Okay.
Yeah, it needs more water. We need to be able to put it with a spade. It's like a flooring mix. You put it and it's like, we can spread it, you know, because this is...
Yeah, it needs to be wet.
It needs to be wetter. It's a bit too dry. So this is for the ferro cement, obviously.
Okay.
We're ready here with our scaffolding. It's brilliant. It's pretty steady. I can work here. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay, pass me a spade. Yeah, this is good. Hey,
Okay.
You see how I'm squashing it and immediately it makes one.
Yes.
It doesn't go into crumbles like that other one.
Okay.
So when we push this and work it with a trowel, it will. This is good. Feel it. Feel it. It's important for you guys to feel it too.
Yeah.
So it's not the same as what we were putting in the bags.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not as wet as plaster mix.
Yeah, it's in between.
It's somewhere in between.
Okay, it's fine. We'll use this gauge.
This is the stuff. Okay,
Okay,
perfect. Alright, so here's a pile. Ronnie asked me to come and check. Yeah. It's good. It's a bit on a dry side here. Crumbling up still a bit. Feel that?
Yeah, you can see.
That's good. You see how that like one patty.
Yeah.
One patty, easy, sticks well. That's on a dry side. I'd add a little bit more water and just give it a thorough mix. Okay. Okay. We're ready to plaster. Yeah, this is good. As it smacks, it's actually going in. And then we're gonna trowel it in. So Mzin, yeah, try not to put on top of the other. Do one coat first, and then we'll come with a second coat. Yeah, Mzi, you're doing good there. I actually like what you're doing more than Ronnie. Ronnie, just check what Mzi is doing. He started with a small patch, and he's building it up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it, Mzi. And we don't want to go too thick. So Mzi, you carry on like you were doing. That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. That's great. Okay, we'll come back and okay. Mzi, just wait a sec. So I just want to check how it's, just to give an idea of what it'll be like. Okay, so this is quite not working, so it will need to be. So it's that. It's working it in, hey?
Yeah.
You see? It's quite a pressure. Quite a pressure. Okay. So it's really pushing it down. So that will be the next step. But as you're throwing it, it's good, it's getting in, but that will be the next step. Is to work it all the way, but without putting any pressure on the dome. So while it's setting, it's...
Yeah.
What we want is we want everything to be compact and the rebar be stuck in the concrete without any spaces of air. The muti, the mix, must be all the way to the wood.
Yeah.
And without any air. It doesn't have to be pretty. We can like smooth it out at the end, but the main thing in the beginning is to really, actually even, Ronnie, come see closer here, is to really even work it. You see, like here, I'm getting to the chicken wire, and I pushed it in. Yeah. Even here, I'll do the same. It's that. You see what I'm saying? Obviously, that wasn't right. We need to first throw with spade, so it must go, and then when we're basically going to work it all the way. So if there was more mix here, and then push it down, then I'm sure this is all the way down. I'm quite happy.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So that will be the next step. But let's do one round and call me.
Okay.
So the weight is taking it, eh? We ran out of mix, so we had to go and buy more cement, which is not acceptable. That should be good, Ronnie, that should be good. So now, whilst we were doing that, we were getting more sand, and this mix that we applied started to dry, and we haven't worked it yet. So now I quickly realized that and called Ronnie to start working it. So we sprinkled a little bit of water. So this is the process. We're basically pushing it right down so it can go to the wood. Yeah, it's better, hey?
Yeah, it's working now.
Afterwards you can come with the other wider side.
Okay.
Afterwards. But for now, you push down all the way so it's... Yeah, pressure is important here. That's looking good. And Ronyan, make sure you put underneath here there is chicken wire.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're gonna be nice and strong. Okay. Okay, we finished the dome. Look at that. Look at that. That's looking very good.